Welcome to The Movement, the podcast where we explore the heartbeat of the YMCA of Greater Kansas City. Join us as we dive into conversations with community leaders, volunteers, members, and associates who have been part of the Y's impact. Discover the inspiring stories of the past and exciting plans for the future as we celebrate how the Y continues to empower lives across our community. Get ready to be inspired in The Movement with the YMCA of Greater Kansas City. Today's guest is the Chief Wellness Officer for the Your Wellness Connection, founder and executive director of Small Changes, Big Shifts, a best-selling author, a passionate connector of people, a volunteer extraordinaire, a pickleball aficionado, and a really good friend, Dr. Michelle Robin. Welcome.
Hi, Mark. I would not say pickleball aficionado, but I did take lesson today. So just so you know, I'm trying to up my game.
Yeah, well, you've taken it and taken it to me in the court. So honored to have you on the first episode of The Movement. Thank you for being here.
Well, you know, I love the Y. Not just because it's also in Your Wellness Connection. We're called Y. We call ourselves YWC, and you're YMCA, right?
I like that.
But I love so many things about the Y.
Yeah, well, kind of flipping the script on you. I've been on your podcast, Small Changes, Big Shifts, a couple of times, so I appreciate it. So we've known each other for about 10 years, I think it has been. Maybe just tell me a little bit about your journey, wherever you want to start that journey, and how you ended up with your Wellness Connection. Deep breath.
Well, it's been a long time. I'm in my 32nd year of private practice. I got hurt playing basketball at the age of 15. My mom took me to the hospital. Nothing was broken, so she took me to the chiropractor. And I really don't remember anything about my chiropractic experience, but I remember how they made me feel. And they made me feel like I belong. They made me feel like I matter. And I was a kid that really didn't feel that way. I kind of grew up with a lot of people with like a bunch of bumps and bruises. And got started my journey into well-being and chiropractic, and here I am 45 almost years later, and I love what I do. It's in a great alignment with what the YMCA does. And so I've been in Kansas City, moved here to go to chiropractic college in 88, yes, dating myself again, and moved here and stayed here, and now I call it home. So.
Yeah, that's a great journey. You said two words, belonging and matter, and making you feel right. And those are just words you've already said it that just kind of remind me of the why for sure, right at the bottom. You you've have a year under your belt as the Chief Volunteer Officer for the YMCA of Greater Kansas City. Again, you've been with the Y for about 10 years, but maybe tell your story how you got involved with the Y and why you continue to stay involved with the Y.
Well, it's actually a pretty funny story. So I met this guy named Mark Hulet through the Hellsberg Entrepreneurial Mentoring Program, which is another passion of mine, is mentorship. And his wife and I became dear friends. And so Mark, met David Bird. And he said, I met this guy, David Bird, and to be honest, I wasn't sure Mark even liked me because his wife kind of spends a lot of money at my place. And so I was like, really? Mark thinks he wants to connect me with somebody. So he introduced me to David Bird. We met, actually, I remember the meeting very clearly at Casey Masterpiece down in the Crossroads. And first of all, you got to fall in love with David Bird.
Yeah.
You know, he's an Aries, so we have similar birthdays, similar energy. He's a connector. But what sold me on that meeting, first of all, Mark Hulet, who said I should do it, and I was like, okay, I'm going to do it because I wasn't sure he liked me, number one. And number two, when David said the 3 pillars of the Y, youth development, social responsibility, and healthy living, I thought, wow, I can get behind that message. And when you are a person in well-being, and there's lots of things to get involved with in Kansas City, you start thinking about what really aligns with my purpose, my passion, my assignment from my Creator. And I don't think there's anything more in alignment than the YMCA. And, if I didn't have a full-time gig, I would probably apply for one of your jobs, Mark. Not CEO job, but one of the jobs.
Yeah. So that year's in, and we've had some great successes. You in your chief volunteer position started about the same time as I rolled into the CEO position for the YMCA of Greater Kansas City, and it's been a great year. What excites you most about what's next?
I love the words center of the community. And that's where we also are in alignment. I believe that the way we heal humanity is that we wrap around people. And whether it's their wellness providers or their community resources they need, or a place where they can go where they feel like they belong and that they matter. And so I'm really excited about our efforts on that. I'm excited about our board.
Yeah.
I believe that Mark, the other Mark, has done a phenomenal job recruiting. It's really we're unstoppable right now, and I'm excited about all the good work we're doing, and how do I help amplify that message out to the well-being community as well as the community as a whole.
Yeah, and I look back at, I said it in the opening, I mean, you're a connector. You are a constant connector, and, that takes effort, right? I mean, it takes effort to do that sometimes, but when you have a mission like the Y, to be able to connect people and try to draw them into the work we do and the great impact that we have in the community, how do you continue to inspire those that have no clue about what the Y does to be involved with the Y?
Well, first of all, for me, it's natural. It's not effort to be a connector.
Okay.
You think about my business name that I've had for, well over a couple decades, called Your Wellness Connection. And it's really about getting you reconnected back to your own well-being, and you're the center of yourself. Just like the center of the community, people have got the center of themselves. And so how do we help draw connection there?
It's intentional. That was a better word, right? It's
not even intentional. It just happens. As I called you yesterday, I was at a meeting and I thought, this person, what I'm hearing her say with what her passion is, it aligns with the why perfectly. And I'm not sure she knows that. And so I just have listening ears, and I have a heart that wants to have people be in the right seat of the bus. Because when you're in the right seat on the bus in humanity, the magic happens. And then to plug people in that have that to the why movement, it is just magnificent for everybody involved.
Yeah, I'm excited about our board. I appreciate you saying that. I think we've done a great job over the last year of developing that board and recruiting to the board, and continue to make it a board of recognition for the city. So, the podcast, we've said it several times. We've called it the movement, and there is something beside that. And the why internationally is a movement, not just here in the United States, not just here in Kansas City, but it's more than just a place. It's not just this physical asset building that people go to, but an organization of people committed to moving communities forward. And so you can also take movement. I think about movement with you and going through your world of wellness, and in a literal sense that, the Y's commitment to healthy living and helping people move through life and stay active and have healthy lifestyles. So what resonates most when it comes to the Y movement and how it aligns with your work and what you're passionate about?
Well, as a chiropractor, it's all about motion. And if you don't have motion, you don't have function. If you don't have function in your body, you can't live the life that you're designed to live. And I think it's true with motion or movement with the Y. I believe the Y's heart is to make our communities better, and go back to that word belonging. We know that we're having a loneliness epidemic. We know that. And so for me, it's movement when I feel stuck. I'm an entrepreneur. I run a business. I'm a community leader. I take bullets like you do every day at some level. And if you got stuck in that, you just would be on your knees all the time. And so you've got to move your mind, you've got to move your body, you've got to move your heart, you've got to move your digestive system. It's a whole other show we could do on that.
We're on video.
On video, yeah, yeah. What excites me about the alignment is I get to volunteer at a place that is in almost perfect alignment with my passion. And so that's really exciting, because I really believe if you're not, for me, motion is giving back. You probably heard me talk about LTRs, right. Lifetime relationships, and that's what it's become for me, the why. And it's how do you be a go-giver and how do you show up? And I think that's what we're asking our members to do. We're asking our community to show up for each other, come with an open heart, be a go-giver, so that it's not give to get. It's give and you will get, because that's just the laws of the universe. And then how do we celebrate people? And I think the Y is doing a great job. I love some of the great work we're doing with our associates. And then just do one-on-ones. And I think that's what you're a master at, is you're a master at meeting community and saying, hey, here's why I have dedicated my whole career pretty much. Not your whole, you had your sports career before that, but you've dedicated your at least last 25 plus years to the YMCA of Greater Kansas City. How lucky are we?
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And how lucky we are to have you. I love that, lifetime relationships. The why truly is about, that's that connection of the movement, right? I mean, we've been here since 1860 in Kansas City. That's remarkable. 165 years next year, a legacy of service to this community. We'll talk more about that as we go down the road and get closer to 2025. But so we've talked a lot about the why. But is there anything else that maybe you've discovered along the way to the why that you want more people to know about?
I just think we have our fingers. I love the words. I heard this from David Bird the first time, and I use it a lot. We have our fingerprints all over this community. And I don't think people know that there are fingerprints. Yeah. And so how do we get the DNA back so people can, I'm not say give credit where credit is due. I don't think we do the things we do because of credit, but we do the things we do because it's our role, it's our purpose, it's our mission. However, it takes the community to be involved, whether it's through donors or through volunteers. I'm not sure our community realizes how big the Y is. 165 years. I think about, made me go to chiropractic. Cleveland Chiropractic University just celebrated 100. I think we're going to be 102 years old this year, if I'm doing my math right. And chiropractic is only about 145 years old. So the Y movement at Kansas City is older than even the whole chiropractic profession.
Yeah, let's go back further. It was before the Civil War.
Wow.
So, you think about how many things have. You talk about small changes, big shifts. The changes that have happened over this community of Greater Kansas City over 165 years, and the why going through those parts of the early days and trying to establish itself with young men coming off the farms, right, and coming to town and maybe getting in a little trouble and trying to find a safe place to be. Nothing's really changed, right? Kids coming to the city, kids in the city. It's really about the kids and what we're trying to do to give them a better life, a healthier lifestyle. So I appreciate that too. We've talked a little bit, a lot about the why. I'd like to talk a little bit about, small changes, big shifts, your wellness connection. Maybe tell us a little bit about this kindness project. I think that's so fabulous, and just maybe take kindness in general and take it to that project that you're so well known for.
Well, I think we'll start with small changes, big shifts, because there is a great alignment there. And I think that's what we're asking people to do at the Y, is to make this small change, whether it's an investment or to come to a class or to come sit and have a cup of coffee.
Come and help pass out food at one of our food distribution lines.
Exactly. Come be a lifeguard. We need lifeguards.
Yes, we do.
So small changes, big shifts really is my heart and soul. It's about making a difference in generational change. As you heard me say, bumps and bruises growing up, and people cared about me. And because people cared about me, I'm here today in front of you. And so we're just trying to make a difference. And Small Changes has kind of three pillars. We have a pillar where we do some community engagement around going into something like the Girl Scouts or Boys and Girls Club or Jack and Jill or Awesome Ambitions or Young Women on the Move. And we do programming for them, for their young people, from a holistic perspective. We use something called the quadrants of well-being: mechanical, chemical, energetic, psychospiritual. And we believe you can pray a lot and not be healthy, and you could eat great and not be healthy, and you can move a lot and not be great and not be healthy. It's the magic of putting all those things together. Kind of creates a waffle. And so that's what our philosophy is. So we actually go and we do programming. I've got a fabulous team, fabulous board. And then that's one pillar. Another pillar, we do keynotes and speaking, and everything that I do from a public facing, it goes back to that not-for-profit, because we're a not-for-profit too, and puts money back into our scholarship program. Yep. We just launched our 4th cohort where we take 8 to 10 people, 18 to 30, and we take them through a 6-month shift experience where they get a chance to experience, they get to go to counseling, they get chiropractic, acupuncture, massage, they get functional medicine, blood work, vitamins, therapy. And so that's so awesome because I feel like I'm giving people a chance to have a bucket of money there that our donors give to us and trust us to put it out in the community. And then another bucket is our kindness campaign. And it started really, totally, it's kind of funny. It started really kind of loosely in 2019. A mental health advocate came to me. She was one of our wellness champions. Our movement's ran by wellness champions. And Anne said to me, you've got these programs for sleep and for posture and for creating a calm and peaceful life, but you need to do something around kindness. She was Mark, she was not really very nice about it. She was forceful.
That's not very kind.
But I think she knew that if she pushed me enough, I would do something with it. And I'm grateful she did. So she said, I'll even help you. And that was in the fall of 2019. Okay. So I've got a great team behind me. They put together a program. And then it's a free program that we give to the community. And then in 2020, the world kind of shifted. Took a little pause. And one of my corporate clients locked and said, okay, Michelle, you've talked to us about rhythm and resilience and listening to our body and small changes, big shifts and wellness on a shoestring. What do you think we should do now? And this was the August of 2020. And much like right now, August of 2024, we've got a contentious election. Politically, there's a lot of things going on that's polarizing people. We have the mental health crisis from our young people. It's not just our young people, by the way, it's across the board. Now we have all the long COVID, all the autoimmune things happening. It's actually pretty scary. We have all the things happening around the environment. Yeah. And so it's very similar, but this is Brooke Runyon, who hired me to speak for Lockton. And she said, what do you think we should do? And I said, you know what? Let's focus on kindness. And I said, we have a 21-day kindness program. Mind you, it was forced upon me. And now I'm owning it. And she said, okay, but I want it 31 days. I want to make sure we are well before the election and we're well after the election. And we always end on World Kindness Day. That's Anne's influence. And a World Kindness Day is a very big thing with Lady Gaga and Born This Way, where she talks about mental health. And so that's what we did. And that was really it's our first year of the 31 day. And this is our 5th year of the 31 day. And we partner up with people like Community America Credit Union, Garmin. We've done some work with Kansas City School District. They actually bought all the content, they sponsored the content, so every student got a kindness deck a couple years ago. Like I said, we just have so many great people. The Santa Fe Tow has been on every year. It's interesting. And you got a chance to come to one of our sponsor events, and I am humbled by the community, by calling, saying, hey, Michelle, yeah, it's great to hear from you at 7 o'clock in the morning. How can we help? Yes, we're in. Boom. And not even second guessing it. So kindness is, it aligns with the why for multiple reasons, because of the way we try to treat our associates and we try to treat our members, but also kindness changes mental health. It is really a big deal. It changes these neurotransmitters, which are big fancy words for those brain chemicals that help you feel good, help you feel like you belong, help you give motivation. And so it's been super fun. It's been an honor to do it. To be honest, it's a lot of work, especially when it's so natural. I believe that a lot of our associates they stay with the why because it's in alignment with being kind already. Yeah. And so it's kind of a perfect match again, kind of a match made in heaven. See.
Yeah,
why?
It happens. And I was at that, your sponsor event, and I thought, as you had people speak, and just how passionate. I mean, I hear it from you, but I just that passion that came out of everybody in that room, that is looking to just find a way to make this world kinder, and it's impressive. And you're one of the kindest people. You're one of the happiest people. You're one of the most positive people that I've ever met. And everybody that meets you. They walk away with a smile on their face. So I just appreciate that you bring that passion to this community, and that you're volunteering for the why, and you're a part of that, right? So that leads me to my next thought is, how can volunteering be an important part of a healthy lifestyle?
Well, I think it's one of the cornerstones of a healthy lifestyle. And we actually talk about it in the kindness campaign, per the research, not per Michelle Robin, per the research. And we know that when you're focusing on giving, goes that go-giver, LTR, back to that again, is it helps you feel good. And so if you ever want to say you're having a bad day, it's, okay, what can I do? So, Mark, first of all, I appreciate that. I'm not sure I think I'm that positive. I work at it every day. People would be shocked at what I do on a daily basis to maintain some level of sanity. And it's just trying to get the space between my ears right every day, and know that I have today in these few moments to try to show up for myself as well as other people. And then plus exercising, whether it's playing pickleball or doing a 7-minute workout or going for a walk or chatting with a friend. I would invite people to think about volunteering, something that really sings to your heart. I remember years ago when I was new in practice, I got asked to be on the Heartland's Men's Chorus. Mark, first of all, you may not know this about me, but I can't even clap. I mean, I can clap, but I can't clap to a rhythm or beat.
Well, I was going to ask you to sing, but
Well, for sure you don't want me doing that. For sure, without a doubt. So, and I remember being at the concert, and I love the Heartland's Men's Chorus. They do some great work. And I was falling asleep. I thought, this is not my passion. I've never fallen asleep at a Y board meeting or at a Y event, and especially like our Challengers event. You watch these kids that have been handed a different challenge, and the families and how the Y has shown up for them. So kindness changes everything. And the Y does such a great job spreading that.
Yeah, I think so many ways to volunteer at the Y. The one that comes up most often is probably volunteer coaches that work with kids. And, it's not about winning and losing, but it's about building confidence and, working in a team and those types of things. So there's a lot of leaders that are out there volunteering for the Y. You mentioned Challenger. It's just a heartfelt program working with kids in our communities that, like you said, they've not had an opportunity to do the things that maybe brothers or sisters or friends have done. And so putting them on a field or putting them in a program where they've got a buddy that's volunteering beside them to help them work through that program. And, they're mission boards and boards like you're on. And, we talked about handing out food and distributing things. There's just so many things, community gardens. It's just that whole social responsibility that falls around in that third pillar for the Y behind youth development and healthy living, that looking for volunteers. The Y was built on volunteers. There was not a paid position at the YMCA of Greater Kansas City that began in 1860 until the late 1890s. It was built on volunteers, driven by volunteers, and we still are. That's what's unique about the Y. Over 4,000 volunteers that work in our centers, in our sites, in our programs, in our childcare programs across the metro. So I think that volunteering it's a spark. I feel like the passion rises up in me when I get to be around our volunteers, whether it's on those fields or whether it's standing in that food distribution line or sitting across from the table from you right now. It's pride. I love that. So I got final four. I got a final four for you.
Oh my. Okay.
Let's drop into this. So, what book are you reading right now?
Oh my gosh, I'm reading 2 or 3. That's a great one.
Just need one. Just need one. Or give me all of them.
Well, I'm listening to.
Okay,
you might
sure.
have heard me say on the stage last January at our event at Small Changes, Big Shifts, that Spotify, in case you're a Spotify subscriber, they have free audiobooks. Pretty cool. I just am re-listening to The Servant. By James Hunter. Listened to that book or read that book 15, 20 years ago, and Game Changer. The Servant.
Perfect. And if you could switch jobs or careers with anyone for one day, who would that be?
Oh, that's a great question.
Stumper.
That's a great question.
Let me come back to that one.
I'm gonna go pie in the sky, and I'm gonna come back to reality. I know Oprah can be controversial, but she has done a lot of good for our world, and the way she's lifted kids up, I think that's huge. Just to be in that mindset, I think that would be really fun. And then locally, one of the brightest minds in Kansas City is Jamie Pryor. To be in her life and be in her mind, and the way she processes through problems. I think that would be a fun person to be in, shift a day with.
Yeah, that's great. Jamie is awesome in this community, and a great supporter of the Y. What's your superpower?
Oh, connecting.
We talked about that. Was a softball, literally.
Yeah, no, that's a meatball for sure.
And this is kind of in the same line, but who Who or what inspires you the most?
Gosh, I'm inspired by a lot of different people. I think the people that continue to show up despite the trauma in their lives, despite the barriers, just the average person that says, you know what, I'm gonna get in the arena again today. Because I'm telling you, people get their ass kicked, excuse my language, but they do.
Yeah.
And so I just think the average person that says, you know what, I'm going to show up again today.
Yeah.
Put me in, coach.
Put me in, coach.
Put me in, coach.
And that, my friends, is Dr. Michelle Robin. Thanks for being the inaugural. This is the season 1, episode 1 of the movement. I appreciate your heart and soul for wellness, this community, and the why. How can our listeners find out more about you, your Wellness Connection, or Small Changes, Big Shifts?
Oh, super easy. Just go to smallchangesbigshifts.com or yourwellnessconnection.com.
Awesome. It's great to be with you.
Mark, thank you. And thank you for your leadership of the why and saying yes to the CEO. Year 1 under the books.
Thank you. Thanks for spending time with us on the movement. Visit kansascitymymca.org for more information. And be sure to follow the YMCA of Greater Kansas City on social media for the latest updates.